your supply chain. A topic that sounds like something only a massive Fortune 500 or DAX 30 company worries about, but it is in fact the most critical strategic pillar for every small and medium business owner.
Creating reorganized, creating reorganized, creating reorganized, creating reorganized. If you are a new or an aspiring founder of your small business and have no time to waste or really struggle to do your social media marketing, you will enjoy our Creating Reorganized show. In my day job as a psychology professor, I teach my bachelor and master students in real life how to reorganize processes in a goal-directed and future-proof way in companies. And that's what I had done for a living as a former IT strategy consultant. For my own career coaching business on the side, I can only dedicate a fraction of my time because, I prioritize care work for my little children. I face the same or similar challenges like all small business owners. So I applied all my experience and knowledge to create my other video podcast, Post-Doc Transformation Show, to streamline my social media marketing and to boost sales of my coaching, e-courses, and affiliate products or services. I strategically capitalize on professional tools to scale my impact according to my vision of life. Listen and subscribe to this Creating Reorganized show so you will learn to do the same for your own business, to build the know, like, and trust factor, and to boost sales of your services or products. Please also ask your business-specific questions because for the next seasons, I envision interview episodes with aspiring and new founders like you, if you want to get your Creating Reorganized according to your vision of life. As in every episode, at the end, I will wrap everything up from a psychological method, theory, or concept point of view. So stay tuned until the end of this episode, especially if you are my bachelor and master student in real life. I would love for you to take notes and maybe even already recognize my arguments.
Dear Creating Reorganizer, welcome back to this Creating Reorganized show for the business owner who wants to market and sell 24/7, 365 without burnout. I'm Professor Dr. Eleonore Soei-Winkels, and I'm so happy that you chose to listen in this very moment. We are here, as always, to put the strategy back into your marketing and sales according to your vision of life. Because let's be honest, you didn't start a business just to work 80 hours a week and never see your family. You started it probably for freedom, for impact, and for a sustainable life. Today we're tackling a topic that sounds like something only a massive Fortune 500 or DAX 30 company worries about, but it is in fact the most critical strategic pillar for every small and medium business owner, your supply chain. Rings a bell? Not yet? Well, let's talk about it. I'm not just talking about physical goods. I'm talking about the supply chain of success, the infrastructure of your network, and we're diving into how you can deliberately and strategically attract and build your reliable, high-quality network of suppliers, collaborators, and most crucially, your loyal, high-paying clients. This is the fuel line for your whole business. If it's clogged with low-fit clients, been there, unreliable partners, done that, and time-wasting leads, I had my share, your business engine will stutter and you will burn out. And we are here to prevent that, right? So you hold the key to that in your own hands. The clearer you target and you communicate with your target group, the less friction there will be, the less you will waste your time and effort to build your own business according to your vision of life. This episode is called The Supply Chain of Success, Attracting and Building Your Supplier and Client Network with Your Own Business Promotion Video Podcast. It builds upon our previous episodes, episode number 1, Why a Video Podcast is a Non-Negotiable for Building Trust, and episode number 4, where we gave the blueprint for seasonal strategies to avoid burnout. Your consistent video podcast is your battery, and your network is your electricity. Your ultimate goal is not just to sell. It's to establish a predictable, unshakable network, a stable supply chain of people and resources that guarantees sustainable, stress-free, and predictable growth. You want to eliminate the exhausting feeling of constantly chasing, betting, and worrying. That core fear that you carry is the fear of scarcity. Your own time is scarce, so you have to make the best out of that. If you're waking up at 3 a.m. and you're thinking, what if your essential supplier vanishes? What if your lead pipeline dries out next month? Then your business feels fragile because it relies entirely on your frantic personal effort. That's like the feeling of you have a computer-based business, and then your computer shows indications that it's not working properly anymore. So the camera fails, etc. So that is the feeling that I'm talking about. So we're going to solve this by transforming your video podcast into your most powerful networking and pre-qualification asset. And best of all, it works in your favor before or after you meet your new business partners or even clients. And the entire foundation of this strategy rests on a scientific concept from Dr. Cialdini's work on influence, the Reciprocity Principle. So according to the Reciprocity Principle, your video podcast is your goodwill back. Humans are wired to return a favor. And when you consistently deliver high-value insights, your deepest strategies, your most practical advice on your video podcast, you are making a massive, non-demanding deposit of goodwill. You are giving your expertise, your time, and your perspective for free. You are establishing yourself as the generous, credible expert they chose to listen to. And by the time you approach a potential high-value client or strategic supplier for a partnership, the scales have already been tipped from your side to them, right? So they feel a powerful, often subconscious pull to return the value you have already been giving them. They're no longer viewing you as just another vendor, but they view you as a trusted authority, and their likelihood of saying yes to a purchase or a partnership increases exponentially. So this is the ultimate low-effort, high return on invest way to build trust and shorten your sales cycle. And if return on invest doesn't ring a bell a lot, then I highly encourage you to listen to episode 11, where we talk about the return on invest of your video podcast. So let's talk about the core problem, which is the AI inflation and system fragility. Let's turn to the biggest obstacle blocking your path to that predictable growth. It's a two-headed monster. So the one head is the external threat of generic content and the internal struggle of system fragility and wasted administrative efforts. If you're working for yourself, no one holds you accountable. So that could be a source of procrastination, right? So let's talk about the external problem first, the great content inflation and AI invisibility. So we are living in an era of the great content inflation. Thanks or no thanks to the rapid advancements in artificial intelligence and automation, content creation, articles, social media posts, basic videos have never been easier or cheaper to create. And the result is, well, the market is now absolutely flooded with AI slop, with generic noise. And this creates the perfect storm for you, the small business owner. Your real expertise gets buried. Your brilliant, unique service or product is increasingly mistaken for a cheap, easily replicable AI-generated substitute. In a tight economy, clients are more cost-sensitive and they are looking for a reason to trust a premium provider. If your content sounds generic, they will assume your service is too. And you don't want that, right? And this thread is summarized by the concept of attention economy. Attention is your scarcest resource. And we have a deep fake dilemma. The late Nobel laureate Herbert Simon observed that in an information-rich world, we are now in the richest information world ever, the true scarce resource is not just the information itself. Information is everywhere, now more than ever. And the true scarce resource is the attention of you, the recipient. Okay, think about that. You are not information starved, but instead you are attention overloaded. And so are your clients and your network partners, suppliers. If you are only fighting with text and generic posts, you are competing with an infinite automated content flow. But a video podcast demands attention, and crucially, it rewards authenticity. That is the reason why video component is key for platforms like LinkedIn, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, and also TikTok. It stops the scroll with a human face. I have to be honest. Let's be real about the future of this attention game, okay? So as of now, we are already seeing incredible, realistic AI avatars who look and sound quite human. And they're not you, but they look human. And then, on the other hand, you also have realistic deepfake mashup videos based on images of people like you that will inevitably open the doors for scams and confusion. Trust, which is the cornerstone of your supply chain, is under direct attack. My prediction is very clear. The higher the value of the sale, the more likely business deals will be done in real life again. When hundreds of thousands of euros are on the line, people want to shake a real hand, look into real eyes, and confirm that the expert they have been talking to is in fact real. And this means that relying purely on massive global low-touch transactions, especially concerning your clients, won't be the best idea anymore. That's why e-course with great content but little personal contact, like without a membership, tank in this day and age. You might want to also focus on selling hyperlocal, face-to-face, through workshops, or at least through trusted high-touch relationships. Here is the strategic pivot. A video podcast distributed across all major podcast players and on social media is what gives the essential social proof that will also boost your business networking and deal making in real life. Your podcast does not replace the handshakes. It qualifies the handshakes. It gives you the credibility to even get into the room with the right people in your local network. And that in itself, in a nutshell, is an example how you can plan your video podcast, social media, and local networking as your own supply chain of success. Let's talk about the internal problem. The burnout of misaligned effort and system fragility. The core reason your business growth feels like running on the treadmill is that your internal systems are fragile and the massive time sink of manual, unintegrated processes. And it has been like that since I have worked in IT strategies. Always it's the manual bottleneck, okay? The human bottleneck in an AI operating system. Maybe you agree. As a founder, as an entrepreneur, you are spending hours on repetitive manual tasks that simple integrated technology stack could handle in minutes. AI maybe in seconds. And as a former IT strategy consultant, I can tell you, manual tasks are the biggest risk factor, your bottleneck, for your business supply chain. Why? Because they are prone to human error. Everyone does it differently. So it might be a lot of variations that lead to nowhere. They are impossible to scale and they cause founder burnout. And I know this pain. I was a psychologist. I had my PhD in neuroscience. I coded my own experiments. I leaped into IT strategy and I had the title of professor. And my credibility was technically high. But even with all these credentials, I was still chasing low-fit opportunities and struggling with inefficient manual workflows because my clients were not technically affine, as much as I wanted them, having been socialized in IT. I spent so much energy and time cultivating relationships with grad school coordinators and department heads who were listening to my post-doc transformation show. I saw them as the perfect gateway to coach the early career scientists. I poured hours into calls, meetings, and tailored presentations. But here was my painful reality. I was chasing people who had a massive conflict of interest. They did not hire me because I would cannibalize their own internal coaching and career development responsibilities. One said that she didn't want to because she wants to save something for her own work. And that time I spent, those months of manual effort, those calls, those custom pitches, was completely wasted. It was a clogged supply chain of leads, resulting in zero return of invest for me and massive stress. Nothing of that has to do with my video podcast. That's pure business, supply chain. And that feeling of pouring your soul into an effort that yielded zero results, that is the core of burnout, missed expectation management. And the fragility doesn't stop with clients. It extends to your partners and also your content quality. So if you are running a video podcast to promote your own business, you are managing a mini production house. And every single human interaction introduces risk to your time and quality control. In my own journey with Creating Reorganized, but also especially in my postdoc transformation show where I did a lot of interviews, I learned the hard lesson with my interview partners, the notes in my content supply chain. I had high caliber interview partners who swore their gear was great, only for the audio to have an unsalvageable echo. And that's time wasted on post-production, and I could have spent that with my kids in much better ways. Or in another early occasion, my own recording gear was not suited for multi-track remote recording all over the world. So I had to upgrade my software to meet my own professional standards, but that interview was wasted. It was an error on my end. I had also others who wanted to delete long crucial segments after I had already completed the fine edits. That was a total lack of respect to the pre-agreed upon editorial process. I don't have time to find new bridges from one segment to another if some 20 minutes are gone now. Or I forgot to ask them how they want to share and promote their interviews. So that was essentially breaking the Reciprocity Principle and hurting my return on invest for the entire episode. Today, I have an automatic typeform-based supply chain of information into my active campaign, and I remember that I wanted to interview a high-caliber model. So she had a chaotic assistant who didn't want to use my line of communication, and hence, we never recorded that interview. I never promoted her to my audience because I really felt disrespected looking at all my effort. So I highly encourage you to also find the best clients and vendors for you. Have a requirement that they have to meet as well. It's a give and take. Right? If you have established workflows and they feel bumpy from the gate on for that specific supplier or client, it simply might not be a good fit. You must avoid wasting your time so that you can focus on the really important things in your life. Working in seasons has helped me to iron out showstoppers in my workflows so I can be confident to be offering great value and establish workflows for all my listeners and also my collaborators. So essentially, these are the biggest reasons why I have recorded interviews, but will never air them. I owe my postdoc transformers, that's how I call my listeners of the Postdoc Transformation Show, the best value in content and production. Even if listening to my Postdoc Transformation Show and also to this Creating Reorganized show is for free, the listening experience needs to be optimal, because I value all my listeners' attention. So the moment you have to manually chase a partner for assets, review and adding a picture and whatever, manually re-editing a video, or, think of why that interview would be valuable at all for your community, are examples of how your supply chain of success is breaking down. You are sacrificing your precious time, which is your most scarce resource, and increasing the risk of human error and burnout. And the only solution is automation and strategic design. If you are inclined into interviewing experts in your business promotion video podcast, you will love my strategic guest finding blueprint for you at the end of this episode. But let's focus first on automation because this is the foundation for solo and also interview episodes. So let's talk about the internal battle. My need for automation is deeply personal. As a professor and a mom of 2 young kids under 11, my life is a constant juggling act. And my priority is clearly my family, picking up the kids, supporting them in school, having time to enjoy their hobbies, sleepovers of their friends at our house, everything like that is priority. And my calendar has predictable high demand months. August and September are back to school for my kids and my students, so it's a double crunch. December is the perfect storm of end-of-year deadlines, my birthday, and, Christmas preparations. If I try to manually record, edit, and publish my podcast during these high-demand months, I would absolutely burn out, so I don't do that anymore. This high stress forced me to apply my IT strategy background to my own business. And the solution wasn't to work harder, it was to build a system of set and forget automation, a reliable supply chain of content delivery. I batch record and schedule my podcasts a season ahead. This means that during those crunch times, I can still deliver content automatically with tools like Podbean and Metricool, and your network and content delivery must be designed for resilience all year round, not just for one season. So maybe you have already realized now, my video podcasts is not merely a marketing tool. It's my automated 24/7, 365 relationship engine and vetting system. It's my core infrastructure of my supply chain of success, and it can be yours too. It actively and strategically solves the problem of chasing low-fit leads and unreliable partners. And this is all underpinned by the concept of social exchange theory. So what is that? But the social exchange theory was proposed by Thibault and Kelly in 1959, the social psychology of groups. And this is old, but humankind doesn't age. It's still about social exchange. That is why we have social media, right? The social exchange theory posits that all human relationships are formed and sustained based on a simple rational cost-benefit analysis. The benefit must significantly outweigh the costs, which could be time, money, effort, and risk. It's not a love relationship, right? We're talking about business relationships. So your video podcast radically shifts the cost-benefit analysis in your favor for both clients and partners. Why? Well, the cost of consuming your content is near zero. They just have to listen to your content, even at 2x speed or whatever. The reward is massive. They have pre-sale education, deep trust, and confidence that you can solve their problem because they have gotten to know you, your voice. By the time they contact you, their decision to buy is often already made. For the strategic supplier or partner, the cost of being interviewed is low. A quick interview, which you can make easy with Descript editing tools, the reward is massive for them as well. They have free, high-quality video content and association coupling with your expert brand. Your show is the mechanism that automates this entire exchange. You are using technology to be generous, and that generosity is building your network of suppliers and vendors. You can have also affiliate links, right? So affiliate partnerships. So it's an organic set and forget automation blueprint that you need. And this strategic approach hinges on a tech stack that works for you, not against you. So I don't know whether you use these tools I'm frequently mentioning, but I use them because they create an automated, error-reduced, set and forget data flow that prevents my burnout. This is how I, a mid-40s professor and mom of two, did anyone say mom brain? I have it. Ensure that I'm capitalizing on technology and not being consumed by it. For example, I use Podbean as the central hub for my content supply chain. It's not just hosting and monetization. By scheduling my episodes in advance through Podbean, I ensure that my content is delivered automatically even when I'm offline during my high-demand months. And this consistency is critical for triggering the mere exposure effect. The more consistently they see you, the more they trust you. Podbean ensures the distribution side of my system never breaks down. By the way, we already discussed this mirror exposure effect in episode 12, how to test and monetize your ideas with your business promotion video podcast. I'll link that in the show notes if you need a reminder on that. Let's talk about how to combat that risk of the aforementioned unsalvageable echo and the time sink of manually editing. Descript is my production powerhouse. Its AI features drastically reduce the time needed for post-production and cleanup. Crucially, it allows me to quickly get that high-quality studio sound, and the video is also edited with AI. And that really builds the halo effect. And that professionalism transfers directly to the perception of my services. All right. Now let's talk about that automated network nurturing. ActiveCampaign is the brain of my relationship supply chain. It's not just for client email marketing, it's for network nurturing. I use it to manage a dedicated list of my strategic partners. Once a collaboration is complete, they automatically enter a sequence that sends them tailored follow-up, content, thank you notes, and prompts for further collaboration. And this automated maintenance reinforces the Reciprocity Principle without demanding any extra time from me after the initial setup. This is how you can automate lead generation for services and partner engagement. This is another hint to my bonus tip for you at the end of this episode, which you can save for later once you have established a business promotion video podcast with interviews or planning one. So stay tuned. Before interviewing is vetting. So you need to pre-qualify your network for quality interview partners, okay? I want you to prevent the misery of a low-fit partner and that unsalvageable file. I use Typeform to create a simple automated network quality check survey. I send it directly to my guests when they are on my shortlist to be interviewed. And this form asks about their technical set, their commitment to share promotion, and their content and business goals. And the best part is the data exports to a CSV, which I can then use for rapid content creation, and more about that in a moment. That automated filter weeds out the low-fit time wasters before they even get on my calendar. And that is the ultimate defense against a fragile supply chain. Let me know if you want me to share about my network quality check survey in a future episode. It's just really needed if you want to interview in your business promotion video podcast, and all that information can be used in later repurposed promotions. So when we're talking about repurposing your content, you need to know about Metricool, and that is how I ensure that my effort is scalable and measurable. Metricool allows me to automate the repurposing of my video podcast clips for LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram, and TikTok. And then I can track the return of invest at a later point in time, even yearly. This tool closes the loop on the content supply chain, ensuring that the work I did in Descript and hosted on Podbean is maximized across my digital habitat for measurable business owner networking strategies. Once my leads want more, I can deliver more help through my e-courses. So when my audience is ready for my high-ticket e-course, Thinkific provides the professional, reliable platform for the delivery. It ensures the perceived quality of the delivery matches the quality promised in my video podcast, lending its credibility to my curriculum and also business. And it secures the halo effect right through the paid offer. However, I want to be honest, a more energizing and lucrative alternative, which also taps on the scarcity principle, is to offer short workshops in real life. Hyper-local, and if you want me to cover that in a future episode, please let me know. This tech stack is my living example for my students and also clients, showcasing how a woman can capitalize on technology to run a successful, time-sensitive business. So, we've covered a lot, I know, but now we have to tackle the elephant in the room. How can you find, vet, guests, and record interviews that boost your business? How do you take these powerful psychological concepts we just talked about, the mirror exposure effect, the halo, the social exchange theory, and also the reciprocity principle, and turn them into a system that works for your business? I've broken it down into a simple, strategic, and most importantly, repeatable plan. I love automations. You should know that by now, right? So this is your actionable blueprint to not just land guests, but to also build a powerful network that generates trust, authority, and sales. Step number 1, find your dream guests. The supply chain method. Forget just reaching out to people you admire. I did that. But instead, you need to be strategic. Your business promotion video podcast is not just a show, it's a networking platform. And the goal is to build a collaborative ecosystem of fellow business owners who all serve the same ideal client. So they want to serve your client in different ways. Think about your own ideal client and their journey. What problems are they solving that are related to yours, but not in direct competition? And this is the supply chain method of networking. Let's run a quick thought experiment. Case study number 1 could be the service-based entrepreneur. Let's say you are a business-to-business marketing consultant specializing in helping small tech companies with their LinkedIn strategy. You're a LinkedIn coach. Now, your ideal client is a founder who has a great product but is struggling to get visibility and generate leads. They're on LinkedIn every day, but their posts aren't getting engagement. So who is one step away from you in the supply chain? So your clients will need their services either before or after yours. Well, they could be a web designer who builds beautiful websites for tech startups. But having an empty website is also not that helpful. So you need a copywriter. They need a copywriter who helps businesses write compelling, clear messaging. They create the words your clients will use on their websites and also in their LinkedIn posts. And then your clients may also need a legal consultant who helps them with intellectual property and business information. So these are the people founders talk first when they have a brilliant idea. These vendors, businesses, aren't your direct competition. They are your allies. They all want to serve your ideal client in different ways. Their clients are also your future clients. Here's your actionable prompt. List 3 types of professionals who would be an ideal guest for a podcast on LinkedIn marketing for tech startups. Here's another case study. You are a product-based entrepreneur. Let's say you sell a beautiful line of eco-friendly skincare products, okay? Your ideal client is a busy modern woman who cares about her health and the planet. She's probably on Pinterest and Instagram and, looking for wellness tips and product recommendations. So who is one step away from you in your supply chain? Think skincare. There could be a dermatologist who specializes in natural skin health, a holistic wellness influencer who talks about clean eating and sustainable living, a yoga or fitness trainer or instructor who focuses on self-care and body positivity. An interview with any of these people is a dream partnership because you all share the same audience at different points in time. You can talk about the science behind natural ingredients with a dermatologist, share your journey with a wellness influencer, or discuss self-care rituals with a yoga instructor. So all conversations become rich, authentic, and naturally showcase your product as part of a larger, healthy lifestyle. Here's your actionable prompt. Make a list of 10 people who are one step away from you in that supply chain. And that is 360, right? So it could be before and after. It could be next to each other and also, of course, on the other ways. So this is the first and most crucial step. Step number 2 is you need to craft the perfect outreach email. And to be honest, it's all about them, not about you. This is where most people freeze out. Your outreach email should not be slop. It should be short, respectful, and entirely focused on the value you offer them. Remember the Reciprocity Principle? This is where you put it in practice. So here are 2 templates for different scenarios. Don't just copy and paste them, but use them for your own personalized message. Template number 1, the cold outreach. So it's about the interview request for whoever from the Creating Reorganized podcast, for example. So it could be, hi, guest name. My name is Eleonore and I host the Creating Reorganized video podcast where I help small business owners build scalable marketing systems. I recently watched your brilliant talk on topic whatever, link to that maybe, and was fascinated by your point about specific insight now, here. And that must be something that has been said by that person. It's not just the topic or whatever. You must demonstrate that you have listened to that piece that you are referring to. It's a perspective that my audience desperately needs to hear because of whatever the reason is. So you are helping the reader to understand why you could be such a good collaboration. I'd be honored to feature you as a guest for a 30-minute interview where we can dive into specific topic, blah, blah, blah. And that could be something that you can enrich because you saw that on their website, that's their business goals or whatever. We would love to share your unique insights with our audience of founders and entrepreneurs. Are there any other topics that you want to discuss? I would be open to chat about this. We can record at a time that is most convenient for you. Best, Eleanor. And template B could be the warmer outreach because you have a mutual connection already. Someone else could recommend you for a podcast interview. Hi, guest name. My business partner recently suggested you as an incredible expert on topic, whatever it is. I loved your recent work on whatever it is. And then the way you explained something that is a deep dive and not just on the surface, easily to be researched, that was a light bulb moment for me. It changed whatever it is for me. And my podcast, Creating Reorganized, reaches thousands of entrepreneurs looking for actionable advice. I know your expertise would be a huge value to our audience because they want to blah, blah, blah. They crave, they have problems like this, blah, 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 blah. So you're showing that you understand your audience well enough to see where they can be a great fit of value. Would you be open to join me for a 30-minute interview to discuss whatever it is? And you are cordially invited to speak about a different topic. Please let me know so we can find a time that fits your schedule. Thank you so much, Eleonore Soei-Winkels. So don't overcomplicate it. Once you have perfected your template, you can use a tool like ActiveCampaign to manage your outreach list and automate also your follow-ups. Their AI-powered automation builder lets you create intelligent email sequences that nurture your leads and manage your guests' pipeline while you focus on your offline work. Service delivery. Should ring a bell, right? So it's a system that helps you do more and work less, allowing you to use your time for building those valuable relationships. For step 3, you have to prepare for a killer interview. And I want you to follow also my podcasting friend, Rena Friedman-Watts, because she has workshops on how to conduct a killer interview. So in short, once your interview partner says yes, you need to prepare to create a high quality, engaging conversation. Your goal is not to be a news reporter. It's to be curious and engaged. All right. You also don't want to push your interview partner. It's not an exam. It needs to be that type of conversation your listeners will enjoy to listen. Before you even hit record, make sure that your guest feels comfortable and excited. Send a quick email confirming the time and sharing a few of the topics or questions you're excited to discuss. Ask them whether they want to discuss different questions, but also let them know whether they are open for some surprise questions as well, where they don't have to be anxious to be defensive. This isn't for you, it's for them. You want to share your stage to showcase them, to highlight them. It helps them to prepare mentally and feel more relaxed and in control. So you must forget generic questions. A great interview is all about storytelling. And here are some must-ask questions that get people to open up and provide incredible value. So what's a myth about your industry that you want to bust? Walk me through a time you failed and what you learned about that. What's one tactical piece of advice your listeners can implement today? If you could go back in time to the beginning of your career or your business, what's one thing you would tell yourself? And to be honest, in today's world, you can expect an expert to have some social proof already, right? So do your homework and find previously published, earned, shared, and also owned media about your dream interview client to win extra points during the interview by leading the interview from one topic to another. You have to build bridges. Your interviewee will happily walk over. So ask them what they want to share and promote so it becomes an organic, shareable new content for them too. And about that halo effect, you don't need a fancy studio to sound and look professional. A good mic and a clean background are all you need. After the interview, step number 4, it's maximize the promotion and track results. That is the biggest lever for your return on effort. The work does not stop after you publish. The key to success is getting your guests excited to share the episode with their audience. This is where you leverage their social proof and the halo effect to boost your own business too. You can send your guest a promo kit with pre-written social media posts, and I send my guests 20 short social clips and high-quality images. You can use a tool like Typeform to create a custom form that makes it easy for your guests to submit their bio and also headshot. And with their one question at a time format and gorgeous design that can be branded, it feels like a friendly conversational chat, not a chore. It's a set and forget system that reduces your workload and makes their experience seamless. You can also track your results. You're in business for a reason, right? So you need to know what's working. I use Metrical to monitor my show's performance and track how different guests' interviews are driving traffic to my website and my online products or services. You can also analyze which content formats are performing best with the real-time analytics, ensuring that you get the best return on invest for your own strategic effort. This way, you can turn your podcast into a lead magnet. And the beauty of a video podcast is that it creates evergreen content if you have strategized the content beforehand, of course. An interview with a financial planner can be a chapter in an online course on financial literacy for entrepreneurs. You can use a platform like Thinkific to host this deep dive content and turn 10 minutes from that course into a powerful lead magnet in your video podcast. All right, dear Creating Reorganizer, you have got the blueprint. You understand the psychology. Now you're ready to stop chasing and start attracting. The truth is, it's not about luck. It's about strategy. And now your next step is simple. Don't try to find 10 guests. Don't try to master all the tools at once. Just choose one person who serves your ideal client one step away in the supply chain. Write a simple, short outreach email. Then you can think of it as an experiment. What's the worst thing that can happen? They say no. And what's the best? You land a dream guest, kickstart a powerful partnership, and begin to build a network that will propel both of your businesses forward. You are just one connection away from a massive leap forward. And this episode is your pink slip, the permission slip to stop playing small and start thinking like a central hub in your industry. I'll tell you, it's not about who you know, it's about who you choose to build with. Your unique point of view is your superpower. The video podcast is the vehicle to show the world that you are more than just a number. You are the resilient, visionary founder your clients are waiting for. All right, dear Creating Reorganized, how can you implement this supply chain of success? Step 1 is how to automate the reciprocity cycle with data. We talked about how manual efforts can break the supply chain. So we need to automate a key piece of the Reciprocity Principle for maximum efficiency and promotion. And here's my favorite, most effective strategy for my post-op transformation show, and that is a bonus tip for you. For my annual advent calendar, I promote my existing interviews. That is content that I already created and has proven evergreen value. To do this efficiently in autumn, I send a Typeform survey to all my published interview guests. I ask them for any updates since their interview and what they are currently planning for the next year in their career or business. And this is a genius move for everyone. They get to update and promote themselves. So this is a massive value for them and triggers the Reciprocity Principle. I get all the data in one clean place, and the fields from this Typeform are exported to a single CSV file. I can then create content rapidly because I upload that CSV directly into my design app to quickly create on-brand text-based videos and carousel image posts per interview guest, who, of course, has to submit the information on time. And this single automated workflow saves me a lot of manual time and creates massive promotional value for my interview guests, because now they have a reason, probably also shy, to share it again and again. But within an advent calendar, they know they will have traction because so many interview guests are taking part. That will eliminate the friction of individual emails and manual asset creation. This is how you can implement business owner networking strategies that are scalable and measurable. So here's your actionable step. How can you streamline promoting something you have already created once but not repurposed yet? Let's go to actionable step number 2. Implement the 2-part vetting filter. Remember, your video podcast is your ultimate filter, and you must implement a 2-stage filter to vet for both value and also technical reliability, preventing unsolvable errors that cost time and money. So, filter number 1, the content test, which is actually value alignment, right? So before you ever pitch a service or ask a partner to collaborate, require them to reference a recent episode of your show. This ensures they have consumed your content and are aligned with your values. If they can't talk about the social exchange theory segment from this episode, for example, they haven't done their homework and they are a low fit client. Remember, if you don't cherry pick your own clients, and you owe that to yourself, you will be wasting your time. Here's your actionable step. What are your core values that you won't give away by all means, and to which your partner must align so you can work together frictionless? Filter number 2, the tag and commitment test. That is also supply chain reliability. Okay, you can use Typeform again to create that mandatory simple network quality check. Ask about the microphone, lighting, and most importantly, their commitment to sharing the finished clips on their professional platforms. They should enter their social media handles so you can quickly refer and mention them in your social media posts made in Metricool, for example. If they have no commitment there, well, that's also no collaboration. This is how you can implement the halo effect from the beginning by demanding quality. I can even see sending a highly wanted interview guest some interview gear via postal delivery or to book a recording studio nearby if it needs to be in real life. Believe me, I had a lot of headache trying to save unsolvable edits. Here's your actionable step. What are your technical requirements to ensure a smooth collaboration? Then we have actionable step number 3, command trust with the halo effect. Your goal is to become the obvious, reliable choice, and that starts with the perceived quality of your show. So this is where the halo effect makes you money, because, you know, professionalism equals trustworthiness, okay? And Professor Thorndike already talked about it in the 20s, as linked in the show notes. So the halo effect is a cognitive bias. When we perceive a single overwhelmingly positive trait in a person or brand, like the high-quality professional presentation of your video podcast, we automatically infer other positive traits that have not been proven yet. For example, your service delivery is reliable, your product is excellent, your business is trustworthy, something like that. So a professional high-quality video podcast is a high-level strategic asset that builds trust and boosts sales. It showcases the quality of your service or product delivery. And when you invest in tools like Descript to ensure crystal clear audio and video, even if you are not a professional editor just like me, your audience automatically infers that your service delivery is just as clean and professional. When you use a platform like Thinkific to deliver your paid courses, the polish of the learning platform lends its halo of credibility to your curriculum and your content. And the consistent, reliable distribution powered by Podbean ensures that your audience perceives you as consistent and reliable in all areas of your business. So, yes, it is an investment in your gear and your apps, but the ultimate return on investment is you're not just selling your expertise, but you are ensuring that the packaging of your expertise, the video podcast, is so high quality so that it creates an undeniable halo effect over your entire brand. Remember what I said about hyperlocal earlier? A professional high-quality video podcast is a high-level strategic asset that can build trust and boost sales. And this professional presentation creates the social proof your video podcast doesn't just sell. It opens the door to the highest level networking by proving you are the real deal, ready for that handshake in real life. So here's your actionable step. Identify local networking events that could work as the next step in your supply chain powered by your business promotion video podcast. Dear Creating Reorganized, I want you to feel that confidence. You are not just struggling to market and sell. You are building an AI-resistant, automated supply chain of success. You are moving from the exhausting pursuit of low-fit clients to the joyful attraction of high-value partners and customers. We are all about a blend of resilience, networking, and leveraging technology here at Creating Reorganized. Remember, I use these same tools and strategies, Podbean, Descript, Thinkific, ActiveCampaign, Typeform, and also Metricool to run my business, my video podcast, Post of Transformation, and also this one, Creating Reorganized, as a living lab. The entire strategic blueprint is how I, a mid-40s professor and mom of two, ensure that I can run a business that is strategic, doable, plannable, and most importantly, scalable without sacrificing my family or my sanity. If this strategic approach resonates with you and you are an established business owner who can afford a premium white label solution, and you're ready to stop managing a fragile, chaotic network and start running a supply chain of success, then you are the ideal candidate for my Creating Reorganized podcasting service. We handle the strategy, production, distribution, and promotion so you can focus on being the charismatic expert of your business, attracting your ideal client and network. To get the full show notes, transcripts, and access to all the resources we mentioned, including the links to those essential tools that make my Set and Forget system possible, head over to our website as linked in the show notes. Thank you for spending this valuable time with me. Build your reliable supply chain now. I'll see you in the next episode. And now I wish you a happy Creating Reorganized according to your vision of life.
Do you want to start your own side business as a runway for your better future? Then you will benefit from our free business readiness quiz as linked in the show notes. Are you a small business owner and want to create sustainable marketing and sales content? Try video podcasting about your service or product, like I do in my Postdoc Transformation show. I'm a mom of 2 kids in school and a professor, and I have no time to lose running my business. And if you also want to save time and energy, use our Dovetail Evergreen strategy. You can easily derive countless valuable social media content from just one video podcast episode. You can quickly attract a broad audience across many social media platforms and then nurture them into leads and clients in their ears and emails while you live according to your vision of life. Let me teach you Creating Reorganized. If you're ready to dive in and start your own podcasting journey, I highly recommend checking out the tools I mentioned earlier: Podbean, Descript, Typeform, ActiveCampaign, Thinkific, and Metricool. Each of these services has made my podcasting business experience smoother and more efficient, and I trust that they can help you too. Thank you for listening to our Creating Reorganized show. If you found this episode helpful, please subscribe, share it with your business friends, and leave a review on your favorite podcast player. Your feedback helps me as a small business owner to serve more small business owners for free, so thank you. I'm your host, Professor Dr. Eleonore Soei-Winkels, and now I wish you a happy Creating Reorganized according to your vision of life.